How to fix mouse wheel auto scrolling in CS2. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are tackling a critical hardware and software desynchronization issue in Counter-Strike 2, where your mouse wheel scrolls automatically. During our recent deep dive diagnostics into CS2 input mechanics, we encountered a severe glitch where the game cycles through weapons without any physical input. This input ghosting can completely ruin competitive matches by forcing unexpected weapon swaps during crucial gunfights. Our technical team spent hours isolating the variables across different mouse peripherals and game configurations to find the definitive solutions. We discovered that this auto-scrolling anomaly is caused by a mixture of USB signal degradation, corrupted configuration files, and game engine input overlaps. We have compiled a comprehensive, multi-step diagnostic process to eliminate this ghost scrolling. Follow our proprietary testing methodology below to restore flawless input registration in your game. Solution 1. Direct motherboard dongle connection. Our testing revealed that signal degradation from USB extension cables or third-party hubs is the primary culprit for ghost inputs. When we analyzed the data transmission, we found that certain USB extenders disrupt the polling rate stability. You must unplug your wireless mouse dongle from any extension cords and insert it directly into the rear input-output panel of your motherboard. Solution 2. Temporary unbind via developer console. To immediately stop the erratic weapon swapping while troubleshooting, we recommend completely unbinding the mouse wheel functions. Open your developer console and type unbind mwheeldown, followed by unbind mwheelup, to sever the engine's connection to the scroll axis. This temporary isolation allows us to determine if the issue is software-based or hardware-induced. Solution 3. Complete keybinding factory reset. Counter-Strike 2 can sometimes develop conflicting internal input maps after continuous updates. We confirmed that wiping the slate clean resolves hidden overlapping commands. Navigate to the in-game settings, locate the keyboard and mouse section, and execute a full reset to default keys. Solution 4. Elimination of custom configuration files. Many players utilize custom auto-exec or viewmodel configuration files that can harbor outdated input scripts. During our investigation, we noticed that legacy commands from older scripts can trigger automatic scrolling behavior in the Source 2 engine. Navigate to your installation directory, temporarily remove your custom CFG files, and launch the game to test baseline stability. Solution 5. Disconnect secondary peripherals. The Source 2 engine aggressively pulls all connected human interface devices, meaning a plugged-in controller or steering wheel can send phantom scroll commands. Teknobalta's analysis showed that analog stick drift on secondary devices translates directly into weapon cycling in Counter-Strike 2. Unplug every single USB device, except your primary mouse and keyboard, to ensure absolute input purity. Solution 6. Purge the Steam user data folder. Steam stores cloud-synced configuration files that can persistently reintroduce the scrolling bug, even after a fresh installation. We highly recommend navigating to your Steam directory, opening the user data folder, finding the 730 folder associated with CS2, and deleting it. This forces the game to generate a completely fresh local configuration profile upon the next launch. Solution 7. Disable Steam Input Override. Steam's built-in controller interface can falsely intercept mouse wheel data and translate it into continuous scrolling macros. Our technical team found that disabling this overlay completely stops artificial input generation. Right-click Counter-Strike 2 in your Steam library, access the properties, navigate to the controller tab, and completely disable Steam input. Solution 8. Keyboard switch interference check. Sometimes the ghost scrolling is actually a phantom keyboard command rapidly swapping your weapon slots. We tested this by monitoring keystroke logs and found that a stuck number key or a macro key can mimic continuous scrolling. Vigorously clean your keyboard switches and temporarily unbind your numeric weapon keys to isolate the hardware trigger. Solution 9. USB Root Hub Power Management Overhaul. Windows actively attempts to save power by suspending USB root hubs, which severely corrupts continuous data streams from high-polling mice. Open your Device Manager, expand the Universal Serial Bus Controllers section, and access the properties of every root hub. Uncheck the option that allows the computer to turn off the device to save power, ensuring a consistent electrical current. Solution 10. Verify integrity of game files. Corrupted engine dynamic link libraries can misinterpret raw mouse data, leading to the exact auto-scrolling symptom we are addressing. We utilize Steam's built-in validation tool to cross-reference your local files against the master server repository. Launch Steam, access the game properties, go to Installed Files, and initiate the integrity verification process. Solution 11. Dedicated mouse software polling adjustments. Proprietary peripheral software can sometimes force an unstable polling rate that the game engine cannot process correctly. Our diagnostics indicate that dropping your mouse polling rate from 1000 Hz to 500 Hz stabilizes the packet delivery. Open your dedicated peripheral software and manually lock the polling rate to 500 Hz before launching the game. Solution 12. Clean the optical encoder wheel. Physical debris trapped inside the mouse chassis can constantly break the infrared beam of the scroll wheel encoder. Teknobalta's hardware teardowns frequently reveal that pet hair or dust causes the sensor to read continuous downward motion. Use compressed air to forcefully clean the gaps around your scroll wheel to ensure the optical encoder has a clear line of sight. Solution 13. Disable background macro applications. Third-party macro software running silently in the system tray can execute infinite scroll loops without your knowledge. We systematically terminated background processes during our tests and identified several automation tools conflicting with Counter-Strike 2. Press Ctrl, Shift, and Escape to open Task Manager and manually terminate any macro or scripting executables. Solution 14. Clear the DirectX Shader Cache. While seemingly unrelated, a corrupted shader cache can cause micro-stutters that desynchronize the engine's input reading cycle. When the frame timing drops significantly, the game might repeat the last known input, which is often a scroll wheel tick. Open the Windows Disk Cleanup utility and completely purge the DirectX Shader Cache to restore frame pacing. Solution 15. Reconfigure Windows mouse properties. The native Windows mouse settings can sometimes amplify a single scroll tick into a continuous page scrolling command. We suggest accessing the Legacy Control Panel, opening the mouse properties, and navigating to the Wheel tab. Ensure the vertical scrolling is set to a conservative value, like 3 lines at a time, rather than scrolling an entire screen. Solution 16. Update motherboard chipset drivers. Outdated USB controller drivers on your motherboard can fail to properly translate the complex data bursts from modern gaming mice. Our team consistently resolves input anomalies by installing the latest chipset drivers directly from the motherboard manufacturer's website. This ensures the USB architecture communicates flawlessly with the Windows hardware abstraction layer. Solution 17. Disable Nvidia Reflex Low Latency. In some rare hardware configurations, Nvidia Reflex interacts poorly with raw mouse input, causing the engine to queue commands incorrectly. We tested toggling this feature in the game settings and noticed immediate stability improvements on older systems. Navigate to the Advanced Video settings in Counter-Strike 2 and temporarily disable the Nvidia Reflex Low Latency option. Solution 18. Toggle Raw Input Buffer. The game engine offers a raw input buffer designed to bypass Windows processing and read the mouse directly. However, we found that toggling this specific setting can clear the ghost input cache that is causing the automatic scrolling. Open your in-game settings and flip the raw input buffer switch to force the engine to re-establish the connection. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.